So for example 3, we're going to find the standard form of the equation of a parabola. So a parabola is a quadratic. So I actually wrote what that equation looks like on the top here. But we're going to find an equation for a parabola that goes through those 3 points. So all you guys have to know, even though we haven't done anything with quadratics, is that the -3 is in your x spot and the 10 is in the y spot. So we're going to make 3 equations where we're going to plug in the x and y value for your x and your y. So for the first equation, we will have 10 equals a times -3 squared plus b times -3 plus c. So that is your first equation. Then your second equation will be 0 equals a times -1 squared plus b times -1 plus c. And your third equation will be 15 equals a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. And then what we'll do is just simplify these, and instead of x, y, and z, we just have a, b, c. So, -3 squared would be 9, -1 squared would be 1, and 2 squared would be 4. So I'm going to rewrite these just a little neater down below here. So now that they are rewritten in a little friendlier and neater form, we have 10 equals 9a minus 3b plus c, 0 equals 1a minus 1b plus c, and 15 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. So usually, as a rule, it's always easiest to just eliminate the c, because the c is always going to be by itself because it's not being multiplied by any number. So we're going to get rid of or eliminate the c. So let's manipulate this equation. Or let's manipulate the first one and add it to the second. So if it's a positive, one needs to be positive, one needs to be negative. So we have -10 equals -9a, now plus 3b minus c, with the one we're using to eliminate it. So 0 equals 1a minus 1b plus c. Add those two equations together. -10 equals -8a plus 2b. Okay, go back up. And this time, let's just manipulate the one at the bottom. We'll multiply by -1 again, and we'll just use that same middle equation. So that one that we're manipulating will now be -15 equals -4a minus 2b minus c, and add it to that original. 0 equals 1a minus 1b plus c. Add them up. -15 equals -3a minus 3b. So this is when we take the two equations with the two variables and we line them up to eliminate a variable. So -10 equals -8a plus 2b. And -15 equals -3a minus 3b. So when you guys are looking at these, you're trying to figure out which one is going to be easiest to eliminate. So in this case, we do have to multiply both equations. So let's make our b's 6 and negative 6. Multiply this first one by 3 and the second one by 2. So we'll end up with negative 30 equals negative 24a plus 6b. And our second equation will be negative 30 equals negative 6a minus 6b. So we'll end up with negative 30 and negative 30 don't cancel. We get negative 60 equals negative 30a. So if you guys divide by negative 30, we get 2 to be a. So there's your first variable. All right, now we need to plug into one of those two gray equations, excuse me, to get your second variable. So let's just plug it into the second one. So negative 15a, or not 15a, negative 15 equals negative 3 times a, which is now 2 minus 3b. So negative 15 equals, this is really sloppy, equals negative 6 minus 3b. So you guys would add that 6 over, get negative 9 equals negative 3b. And when you guys divide it by negative 3, b will be 3. And then plug in one last time. I really ran out of room there. So one of your original equations, let's do, actually, give me 1 second. Okay, I just need to rearrange some things because I ran out of space. So let's just do one of your original equations. Let's do the one with the 0 in it because it's easier. So that 0 equals 1a minus 1b plus c. So 0 equals 1 times a, which is 2, minus 1b, which is 3. And plus c is what we're trying to find. So 0 equals 2 minus 3 plus c. So 0 equals negative 1 plus c. You guys will add that over. And c equals 1. So for these, you do need to find a, b, and c. But the goal here was actually to write an equation that y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So once you guys have your a, b, and c, you guys need to plug it into that formula to get this equation. So y equals a is 2 plus b is 3 plus c is 1. So once you get it, you literally just put it in the place where the a, b, and c go. And if you graphed it, it should go through those 3 points that you were given at the very beginning.